everyone. Thanks for joining us today. Today I'm talking to Lisa Nitchie. Lisa is co-founder of Western Concrete Coatings in Denver, in Colorado. But like some other entrepreneurs out there, she also is launching her photography business because Lisa is a photographer. She's launching Nitchie Photography. So hi, Lisa. Thanks for joining us today.
Hi, Marianne. Thanks for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. So just why don't you give us a little bit of a background about yourself? You can talk about both businesses, one business, whatever one you want to share with us.
Okay, well, my husband and I actually launched Western Concrete Coatings under a different name, and it's actually started as a painting business literally the same month that we got married in 1994.
Right. So you're doing
So, and at the time it was more, he wanted to create a business because we had both moved to Colorado from another state.
Mm-hmm.
And once he got here, he had worked for several other painting companies initially,
Right.
and was so disturbed by the quality of work that was being done in the construction business here that he launched his own business.
Yep.
So that he could do the kind of work, that quality work that he would be proud of. And so initially it started as a sole proprietorship, and I kind of helped very part-time with some of the business pieces.
Mm-hmm.
And then over the years, as it grew, it transformed into all concrete coatings. We incorporated, we have employees. So a lot of things have, grown a lot more. And I had full-time jobs outside the business because I wasn't necessarily completely involved.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just over the years, I've really stepped up as more of a founder and, co-owner position, as opposed to initially it was supposed to be his business. But now it's our business.
I was just going to say, and you don't currently have another job at all. So you guys are both invested in that business.
Absolutely. Yeah. It is, 100% our main source. Yes. And it has reached a point too, where especially I've created enough systems for the pieces that I do in the business, mm-hmm. that's why I am finally pursuing my passion of photography and starting to market as a nature photographer. So.
Okay. So just tell us a little bit about that, because we'll get into how business, because as you know, we talk about the work-life pendulum, right? So we've got the mm-hmm. business on this side, and then to feel fulfilled, you have to have the good thing on the other side. Mm-hmm. Photography was a hobby for you, but it's mm-hmm. come to the point now where you want to start developing a business around that. So why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. So part of the reason that I moved to Colorado is just because I completely love the outdoors, and I love to just hike, camp, fish, just be in the mountains as much as possible. Mm-hmm. So it was really a natural kind of transition that's where I wanted to do photography.
Yep.
And so I have started really doing a lot more abstract nature photography, so that I'm not defining people's, their experience. They can make whatever experience they want out of the images.
Okay.
So, but being an entrepreneur, there's plenty of times over the years that Monty and I were working 6-7 days a week as we built the business. So there wasn't a lot of as much time for those kinds of things. So there's just a lot more time freedom at this point, that I can go spend more time in the mountains doing photography, and then coming back and having time to create my marketing and website for that. So.
Absolutely. And then we were talking a little bit earlier about how you actually want to be able to offer some of those trips, like to people, like going out in nature with you, doing
mm-hmm.
and stuff with you, and
yes.
all the benefits that spending time in nature can have for people who might be stressed at work or that type of thing. So as well as doing the images, that's sort of something
yes.
at some point you want to have a look at incorporating as well.
Oh, absolutely. And really my mission behind photography and wanting to, show my photography to people is that I really want to inspire people to connect with nature just because of all those benefits. There's been so many studies that I have run across, so, just in the last few years about the actual physiological changes that happen in your body, just going out into nature. And especially with how much, we are connected to technology. So many people don't take the time to really like reset, and even just being in nature, it really like even resets your electromagnetic field of your body from all of that technology exposure. So, it has both psychological and physiological effects, just getting out and enjoying going to the park or going on a short hike or whatever. So
yeah, and the thing too with the photography then is capturing those images. Those people then can take that back to their normal environment, as a reminder or as a stress reliever or anything like that can help.
Absolutely. As an anchor that, like, you're stressed out in your day, and then you can go, you look at these images that either remind you of that experience, and it can really bring you back to that place of peace and calm. So
yeah, absolutely. Okay, so all right, so not only do you have a full-time business now that is you and your husband together, plus with employees. How many employees do you guys currently have?
6 in addition to us.
Okay, so then you are considering in the process of building your business, like your passion business. Now, one of the things with Parent Boss, obviously we interview people and we're talking to them about their children, but one part of being a boss and it's so many people out there don't have children, but they have their fur babies, and that is something that is in our society that's getting more and more and more. People equate having their fur babies, they are just as important to them as children. So I know that you have your fur babies that you love, so tell us a little bit about who you've got.
We have 2 dogs that are actually litter mates, and they are 12 years old now. So they are slowing down a little bit on when I take them on hikes with me. But it's a little more convenient for when I want to take photos, because they're more willing to lay down and relax.
Well, wait for a bit to you to snap a shot.
Well, I take images. Well, before, when they were younger, it's like they'd start whining if I would stop for more than 30 seconds.
It's too long.
So they also, are really good office helpers. So they constantly like to be helping me with all sorts of things.
I can imagine.
And we
stuff going on.
And we've had a cat for many years who recently passed, and she would help me file.
Yes, I can imagine.
He was constantly getting on my desk and then knocking things on the page.
Everything and then sitting in the middle of it all. Yes.
Yeah, right in front of the computer monitor. So, so they, but it's been nice just because they are a stress reliever in the middle of the day, and that's part of, because my office is at home. So a lot of times, I will take the dogs midday for, maybe a short hike or a walk as a work break, which is especially nice in the wintertime, so I can still get outside while it's sunny. So it's nice. So balancing, making sure that, they get all their activity. Otherwise, they are not very.
I was just going to say, then they've got energy, just like children, right? And then it gets directed in the wrong way, in the wrong direction.
Exactly. So it's like, it feels like they force me to have at least a little bit of balance in that way, just because if I'm not, and they're used to, now that they're older, they've slowed down, but younger, they would go running with me. And so if I wasn't doing that all the time, they were just like, go crazy. So
so you need to get the energy out of your fur babies as well as normal babies.
So that it isn't, but it's been nice because it does, otherwise I could just sit in the office and work all day. As opposed to they're coming over going, excuse me, we need to do something. Probably much like children.
Don't worry. We have a dog as well as children, and sometimes Maxie can be even more demanding, especially around the meal times is what the kids can do. So Yes.
Yeah, I think that, I know they're not as much work as children, but they're a lot of work.
Well, I'm sure they are, but it's funny too, though. Like, And you see, that's why there's whole industries dedicated to the pets industry, because hotels that allow dogs, places that are like PetSmart and stuff, because pets are so important to people. They
Mm-hmm.
are virtually just like their children, and they will build their lives around what their needs and stuff
Oh
are
yeah, yeah,
talking about. So they
yep.
get used to that too, right? And if you don't
Oh
fulfill it,
yeah,
they're like, hey,
absolutely. Well, and I mean, I'm someone, I've always just really taken that responsibility very seriously, so
yeah,
if I brought this life into my home, it's like I need to do what is best for them. So that's just how I view it, whether they're whether they're dogs or not.
yeah, whether they're human or they're four legs or whatever.
Yeah,
Yes, yes,
yeah,
okay.
they're my job. I
Yeah,
mean, my
that's exactly
responsibility.
it. They're your commitment and your responsibility. All right. Okay, so as you probably know, with the work-life pendulum, we split family and business, or life and business, into two separate things.
Mm-hmm.
So first off, I'll just ask you a couple of questions about your business. When we, on the business side, we tend to break down into 5 different parts: the HR and the staff part,
Mm-hmm.
the administration side of all the stuff,
Mm-hmm.
the actual customer service side or the sales part of your business, then the actual production or the service of what you're actually selling in your business, and then all the marketing side. So your brand work, your marketing, your social media. So tell me about your business, and we're talking about the Western Concrete Coatings.
Okay.
What are the favorite parts of your business? What are the parts that you actually enjoy doing?
Well, I enjoy doing a lot more of like branding, marketing, social media, because I have a degree in marketing.
Okay.
So that has always been the pieces that I've enjoyed, or the business development pieces.
Yep.
Where, and especially doing a lot of strategizing or research to locate resources that we need, find answers to questions. So I really enjoy, like figuring things out
Okay.
mostly,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So it's just more mentally challenging and stuff. So I really enjoy that.
So you really enjoy that. Okay. So what's
And I guess, I mean, which to me translates to any part of being an entrepreneur,
yeah, absolutely. And you're right,
or
because
any type of entrepreneur.
yeah, absolutely. No, that's fine, but it is. It's
Yes.
you're sourcing. It's almost like the hunt side, and then the
Yeah.
connection side and stuff of talking about your business. Okay,
Yes.
so what's the flip side? What part don't you like?
Well, I get slowed down by having to do then all the tedious parts of that. Like I love like finding the new stuff,
Yeah.
but then it's like, oh, now I have a list of like 20 things I have to do,
Yeah.
So I get hung up on the backside, and more so on tasks that are like the tedious things that I have to keep doing. Like I keep having to do the same task over and over again. A lot of the administrative kinds of stuff, the
Yeah.
bookkeeping kinds of, so those kinds of things. I'm reaching a point where I probably this year I'll be outsourcing more of that, but for a variety of reasons that has just not happened. Part of the reason is I currently work from a home office.
Yep.
And so it's been kind of tricky to want to have outside staff come work with me.
Yes.
So later this year, we are looking into purchasing a building instead of renting, because the space that we currently rent for the business doesn't have an office space in it.
Yep.
It's just a shop space. So, when we have a space that is more conducive to have someone that has, can go there as opposed to coming to my home,
Exactly.
then I will outsource more of that. Yeah.
Yeah. So in talking with that, that's a good segue. So when you were talking about your systems before that you have developed, so what sort of systems do you have in place? Are they to help you to do these tedious parts that you don't like, or is it purely efficiency on every single part of your business? Just tell us about what you sort of implemented. Like
most of the systems, I mean, we have a few that I'm working on right now as far as putting together a more efficient bidding system to get through all the unsolicited bids that we get, so that we can, be getting things out to create more new relationships than what we have. The ones that I have created are more around the administrative parts of it, so that I have places to put everything or how we do certain things. Even a job where like Monty came up because he was doing an invoice, but like typically I take care of all that. So once we start jobs, I create a list so that we don't miss invoicing anything right away.
Yeah.
Just small little things like that so that everybody knows what's happening. And papers are going in the right places so that my time is cut down on how much I have to spend sorting through that stuff.
Yeah, and hunting things. And it's funny too, because one of the things with systems, like, we have a very strong franchise background, which is all about systems. Systems are supposed to help you leverage, for one. But the other thing that systems do is that it's supposed to make your business replicable, and you get to the point where it can be taught to anybody. So if you get hit by a bus tomorrow, touch wood, obviously that doesn't happen, that things can still carry on.
Yes.
So that's, there's lots of people out there when they first start in a business that don't put those systems in place from day one, and it's all up here, and something happens to that person, and then it impacts the business. So
absolutely.
Systems,
well, and even in ours, there is still some of that with Monty, because he's the main person who goes out and does all of the bids or specs which materials are going to be used or best to be used on a job. So some of the things that we have done with him too is we've created a bunch of spreadsheets that are bidding templates for all the different materials that we use, and broken down every possible category so that even if he's not in the office and not able to do any of that himself, on his phone, he can contact me. I can just pull up a bid template, tell me which things to check off. You just put in the square footage and I can give him the price right then. So some of those things, we still have a long ways to go to get all of those things out of each of our brains to better do that. But we are slowly even, typing step by step. This is how you do this process. This is how you do this process for exactly those reasons.
Yeah. Because the thing is too, like if you then hire your person, you get your building, you hire your bookkeeper, you then promote maybe one of your 6 guys up to a foreman. You guys then go out into your nature. You are expanding your Nitchie Photography, starting to lead people out there. You then have leverage over in your other business with these people being able to take care of that for you, and it still continues to generate you income.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yes.
That's what business is about, right? That's the sweet spot.
It is. Oh, it is. And we have, over the last probably 3 or 4 years, we have a team in place that is awesome. So we have actually been able to take a lot longer vacations because of that, and because we do have a lot more of that in place so that things can be handled. And we don't necessarily even have to check in that much. So
it doesn't have to be handled by you. That's the thing with systems and stuff like that, is understanding that the value of your business does not have to be handled everything by you. It's empowering people.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I'm sure you've talked to other people too. It is hard to, when you have built it, to sometimes take that step away too, and let somebody else do it maybe a different way, slightly different way.
And difference not wrong. Difference
exactly.
But this is your baby, so yes.
Exactly.
Yes. No, I completely understand. Okay, so on the flip side, we were talking about obviously you guys love getting out in nature. You guys like your fishing. You take your dogs out. You do your hiking. I know you guys have a camper that you love going away.
Absolutely.
So tell me about some times like when the business has been so busy, you guys haven't got out to have the break and doing those things that you loved. How's that sort of impacted on your feeling about the business, about the feeling of whether it's still the right choice for you? Do you know what I mean? Because after then you're out of whack, you're out of balance.
Oh yeah. So that is exactly explaining what happened to us last year. So our business almost doubled in revenues in 2017. Wow. And the job market here, there's hardly any unemployment, especially in the construction, because we've had tons, just a construction boom in Colorado. So we reached a point where Monty, he was working like 7 days a week because we were trying to hire people for like 3 months and couldn't find anybody. It was insane. Yeah. So, you know, we definitely did not do very much camping last year. I mean, we just flat out couldn't do it.
Yeah.
And it really, both of us, I mean, it just took a complete toll on our energy.
Yep.
And I mean, just losing motivation on wanting to keep doing it because we had, you know, we know the value of making a priority,
yep.
of making sure that you go out and have fun and enjoy life because you do, you know, we've burned ourselves out in the past also. So, I guess, you know, this year our goal is to grow, maybe not grow the business that much, but to have a sustainable schedule so that we can still go out and get, rejuvenated. Because even we were just talking recently, it's like, even though we've both taken a few like long weekends because of how busy it was last year, we're like, you know, we need like more than a 4-day weekend.
Yes.
You know, so it's still like we're still having the lingering effects of that. You know, and hopefully at the end of the month, I think we'll be taking like a 5 or 6 day camping trip.
Okay.
And you know, take at least a week off in June plus some other shorter ones. But yeah, we're playing catch up from the last year.
Yeah. And it's funny too, because when we talk the life side, we talk about family and friends, we talk about the day-to-day side,
Mm-hmm.
we talk about financial, we talk about health, and we talk about soul. So, you know, if you're out of whack in the business side, you know, the time with your family and friends, your babies, your health can be, as you say, it's impacted your energy. It's your soul, because you are craving getting out and you can't.
Yep.
So you don't get that rejuvenation, you know. It impacts on so many sides, and it's a really good point that you said. Even when you do get it back into balance a little bit more, the pendulum, it can be lasting effects. It can take a little while to get over the stress of being stuck on one side, what it is for too long.
Well, absolutely. And what we have noticed, and we've noticed this repeatedly when this has happened over the years, is that towards the end of last year, beginning of this year, once we start getting exhausted and burnt out, things on the job sites, like they aren't going as smoothly. I mean, you know, so it has an effect directly on the business too, that whether that's just from a law of attraction standpoint, you know what I mean? Forcing you to slow down because things just weren't going well. And then it would just compound everything even more.
Yeah.
So.
And it just keeps permeating through. So, absolutely. Because it's the way that you're interacting with everything. I'm sure your staff probably picked up on it. The people that you're working with probably picked up on it. Who knows if they were in the same situation because the boom is happening in Colorado.
Oh,
yeah. So.
Yeah. I mean, and then, you know, Monty and I are not having a ton of fun together, you know, we're just like too tired at the end of the day to be like, okay, great. You had a great day or a terrible day, whatever.
Yeah.
We don't need
to turn to cook dinner because I'm not doing it. And then you fight about that.
Exactly. Yeah. That was a big downfall is we definitely did more takeout than normal last year, just because to even plan meals was just exhausting to even think about.
Too hard. Yeah, absolutely. You've already reached the limit. Cool. Okay. So, we'll just get to the end now, but I just want to ask you one question that I ask everybody. So if someone had told you at the start of your business, you know, that there was going to be times where you're working 7 days, you couldn't find anybody to hire and that type of stuff, would that have put you off being a business owner, do you think? Or do you think the benefits of being able to leverage and create your own timelines and build an asset and all of those good things, do you think that they totally outweigh that or a little bit? What's your sort of thought on that?
I would say they totally outweigh it. I would have still done it because I actually, and this probably is why we work a lot. We enjoy working. Like I like to work, you know, so,
me too.
Even when it's not very busy, like I create things to do. I like to be busy and I like to work. So I still would have done it because even if I'm possibly, and probably a lot of times have worked more hours than if I worked for somebody else, it's my choice. And then, Yeah, because even like last week, I went hiking in like for a couple hours in the morning, and then I came home and worked. So I couldn't do that if I were working for somebody else. So to me, those kinds of benefits completely outweigh. And I would have done it all over again. I mean, I would hope I would have, if I could do it again, I would like to have the lessons I've learned so I could start off in a better way and not learn all the lessons the hard way.
Day one, leverage from day one. Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
I would have done things differently, but I would have done it again.
Yeah. So is that what you would tell someone if someone said to come to you and said, I've got this great business idea? What would you say to them? Do that?
I would say from day one, I mean, create systems and learn from other people's mistakes instead of making them all for yourself.
Absolutely.
When other people tell you lessons that they've learned, pay better attention.
Actually listen and think that it might happen to you too. Yes.
Yeah, instead of thinking you have a better idea.
Yes. I know you realize that later down the track, don't you? Oh yeah, I'm actually right.
I know. And then I think back, oh yeah, somebody did tell me not to do that like 5 years ago. Whoops.
It's all right. We've definitely been slow on the uptake sometimes. Yeah. Yes, I think it's
maybe that's just part of most people's process. I don't know, but
I think so, that they have to learn it themselves. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, and I guess I would say the other thing too is because this did get us in trouble. We did not manage our cash flow at the beginning. Like we just kind of winged a lot of things.
Yep.
And so we ended up getting into some trouble with debt with our business.
Yep.
And then when the recession hit, it just went way out of control just to keep the business going. So I would say to somebody from the very beginning to learn how to better manage your cash flow from the start, and so. And
avoid that added stress.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Because getting rid of that is like, I feel like complete freedom now. So
yeah, absolutely. And that's your soul side too, right? The fact that you feel more comfortable about where you are. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. So I guess those would be the two things.
Those would be these lessons. And they're the good ones. That's for sure. All right. So thank you so much for chatting with me today and talking about your business and stuff. I really do appreciate it. And awesome work on your growing Western concrete coating so much.
Thank you.
Doubling revenues in an established business in 1 year, that's a big deal.
Thank you. Yeah, it was very exciting. So, hopefully we'll keep that momentum going.
Yeah, absolutely. And then good luck with launching your Nitchie Photography.
Thank you so much.
All right. Okay. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Bye.